man. Talk to the king is back, baby. Hey, what's going on, everybody? The king is back. Look, man. All right, so look, man. Today's episode, I'm so excited, man. I'm excited. I'm excited to be back today, man. Yeah, I'm excited. So today's episode, yeah, academics got to be the biggest idiot in the world. I swear. So he's talking about Kendrick Lamar and Spotify removing certain things from certain artists, and they didn't name who the artist was. But for some reason, he has to jump on here and say Kendrick's name. Now, Spotify removed whatever they removed, Body or whatever it was, and they didn't name what artist it was. They just said they removed certain things, right? But for some reason, he's saying that it was it could be Drake, but yet and still, he's saying now. I'm going to get into this, and then I'm going to explain to y'all at the end of what I believe is happening here. So before I get into that, I got to get the legendary spill. This is Torture Talk. If you like the content, please consider subscribing. If you're new here, let me work for your subscriptions today. All the beautiful, single, sexy ladies put one in the chat. All the fellas, y'all know where to find the ones that just don't harass them. I don't sell no merch, but I do have content absolutely free. But if you want to leave a donation, link is in the description. Cash App, no more PayPal. They called me the hidden gem. I went from 1,300 subscribers over 13, 14, 15, 16,000. And yes, I am the king of the north. Let me know what kingdom you from. You know what I'm saying? And at the end of every episode, at least I try to remember to ask you a question. It has nothing to do with the episode, or it might have something to do with the episode. You never know, but it's an interesting question. You can answer it in the comments. All right, so look, man. Let's get to this, man. Let's get to it. Let's do it. All right, man. This comes courtesy of Screwface Gene. I tried to find a clip on my own, but I couldn't find it. So I actually like this one. So we're going to do this. Let's go.
Let's talk about potential botting, and we're gonna debunk a lot of this. Let's go.
Let's talk about Kendrick. I'm gonna be honest with y'all, chat.
Let's get into it. I've
heard
like this guy.
Kendrick isn't that either until recently. I heard this is a story told to me. Could be wrong. They said Kendrick wasn't into.
You would think academics already having somebody talk about Kendrick's botting and it being a lie would not just run rampant and say things that he's just hearing, because clearly your sources aren't as good as you thought they were. But anyway, back to
all right, so look, this is again, this is exactly why people feel the same way they feel about academics, right? And trust and believe, he's on a slow decline if he hasn't hit rock bottom by now. People listen to him because he's content and people want to react to his content, right? Because they know he's the opposite position, that he stands in the opposite position, so people want to say it. So him saying what he just said, right? He already know that he even admitted out his mouth that Spotify says that Kendrick wasn't botting. He said that out his own mouth. And now he's getting on here saying this. Well, let's see what he says.
Back to Alvin and all three of the Chipmunks put together.
The bottom until him and his team thought the only way Drake could be that big, Drake had to be botting, so they start botting. It's like saying, ain't no way this nigga that smart. He got to be cheating, so you start cheating too. You know what I'm saying? Or you're in baseball and be like, ain't no way this motherfucker is doing all this without some steroids. Let me go get the steroids too. Okay? So
mind you, he doesn't even know if this is true, and I'm gonna give.
Yeah, I don't like academics. I don't know him personally, so I don't like him as a journalist. That is such a lame way of looking at things. So you're telling me that Kendrick Lamar and his team said to themselves, there's no way that Drake could be winning this way. He has to be botting. So let's bot. Let us do the same thing. Knowing Kendrick Lamar and how he moves, you think that he is worried about botting. You think that that's what he's worried about. You think he's worried about botting when you already admitted yourself that Not Like Us was a certified hit. So And here's my thing, and this is what I'm thinking. This is what I'm thinking. You know what? Let's keep it going.
We'll talk about this tweet from Curious George up here, where it's Kendrick went from 110 million monthly listeners down to 98 million listeners after the recent Spotify purge of bots. This is such gaslighting. This is such that's why it went down. I'll show you something. About that. Drake hasn't changed, really. It was 78 million before Spotify started deleting bots. Oh, so Drake's numbers never fluctuated. Okay, I'm sure. Kendrick has 98 million listeners, but only has 38 million streams daily. Looks like Spotify has a lot more bots to delete. Mind you, this is after.
All right, so what are we talking about, right? Because this is what makes me mad about academics, but he doesn't tell the full story. Are you saying that Kendrick Lamar has over 100 million listeners, and they purged them, and now they kind of found out that they were bots, right? So the listeners are bots, because I thought that bots were just plays. I didn't know that the bots were the listeners too. Now maybe I'm wrong about that. Maybe that is the bots. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I thought that when you make a song new, it's not that you're manipulating followers and subscribers. I thought that you were just manipulating numbers. I thought that's what that was. I thought it was a bot would be having instead of one person playing, you might play it from 10 times from one phone. That's what I thought that was.
They beat the botting claims. So but that's what I'm saying. These two, George and Akadidler, are going to spiral out of control the more they keep losing, because they have nothing to hold on to. Because at this point, Academics is talking about a secondhand story he heard from some random person who he's already been wrong about Kendrick's Spotify activity. So let's get into it.
I want to be honest with y'all. For what I've heard about Kendrick, he's an off the muscle artist too, but they started spicing up songs during the battle and they've continued after. Now, nothing crazy. Like,
even though his biggest album is from before this, his biggest album is before this battle. Damn is still his biggest first week.
And I believe that GNX sold more than Damn. I believe that I believe all Kendrick albums are platinum by now. I think all his albums are platinum. But the point I'm making is how are you going to sit here and say that they spiced it up? What do they need to do that for? Like Screwface is saying, why do they need to do that? For what? They don't need to do that. The battle didn't need to be spiced up. Kendrick was big off the bat before the battle, and he got even bigger off the battle. It didn't need to be spiced up. The spice came from the battle. They was talking spicy to each other.
You gonna just leave that out? No, they started botting now, not in his most successful stuff. Right this second. Really, nigga? You would have been better off throwing this live for Damn. Like, really? Really? Okay. You know this isn't his most successful first week, right? Even with these claims of numbers supposed to be bought for singles and stuff, right? Okay. You know Drake's team has to take that out the lawsuit, the bot stuff, right? Okay. All right. This is why it's important for me to cover stuff like this, because they're trying to spin narratives, even when legally it's like...
A crazy thing would be like you're giving it 2 to 3 times what the real streams are. Nothing crazy. I'm hearing like 10 to 15% scaled over time. Okay?
But what would that do? This is how goofy this dude is. If someone's gonna bot, right? You're saying that to me, botting, this is just how I feel about botting. Botting is for you to make something bigger as fast as possible that looks authentic and make it a big fast. Why would you want to bot something over time? Why? It could fall off over time. I guess what you're saying is it keep gradually growing, right? But What if people don't like the song no more? You get what I'm saying? Like, what if people don't like the song no more and the bots just become irrelevant? Like, sometimes I think academics, he makes these things up because he want to plant a seed in people's head, that a seed of doubt. Like, oh, see, yeah. And then people say, well, that song's still running. That's because the bots carrying it on, bro. That's why, because those bots. I mean, like, what bots? The bots. What bot? Tell me what a bot is. I ain't gotta tell you all that. I heard academics talking about it. That's what it is. That's what he's saying. He wants to plant the seed of doubt in most people's heads. This is the reason why he does this. He does this to plant seeds and watch it grow.
Which means, let's say you see a Kendrick song, I don't know, say Squabble Up. Like, I don't know, you want let's, again, I'm going off of just what I'm hearing.
Where you've already been, mind you, warning, he's already been wrong on this specific thing before. He's literally already, he had somebody come on his chat and be like, yo, I know about Kendrick's botting on Spotify. I know that. Turned out to be a complete lie. And now he wants y'all to believe, because I don't believe anything that comes out of.
And that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. The boy Epic came on the show, literally said this. He said he talked to somebody from Spotify. They said the song was not botted. He said that out his mouth. Academics said this. He said this. Then Drake takes the body. He went and filed a lawsuit against Spotify, which was settled. They got rid of that. iHeartRadio, which was settled. They got rid of that. And then he went and pulled that part, the botting part, out of the lawsuit. And now you're sitting here saying that, yeah, this was botted. Like, what are we talking? Bro, I'm telling you, bro. I don't understand it. I don't.
Theodore from the Chipmunk's mouth. He wants you to believe now. No. I was completely wrong and following lies back then, but now trust me. Now I'm right. You know, and who's your source? Some nigga.
Let's go to, what should we type in? Kendrick. Yeah, let's go to Kendrick, right? All right, Squabble Up. Squabble Up at 325 minutes. Now, granted, I think this is the actual number because I think Spotify deleted a bunch of fake streams, which some people claim Kendrick was part of it. But let's say 400 million.
I have not seen anything where it said Kendrick was a part of it.
Yeah, where did you see that at? See what I'm saying? Like, trust and believe. This way y'all got to be real careful about how he talks, right? Because this is what he does. He'll say some people said this, but he won't cite that. But the moment he gets a inkling, I'm talking about a tiny bit of something, he promotes it. So if someone said that they deleted some of Kendrick's stuff, he would be showing you who the person is. But now all of a sudden, he just says somebody said it. But then he's on here talking about some, they deleted streams, they deleted followers or subscribers from Kendrick's subscriber count. They deleted that from him, and he's showing you who said it, but he won't show you who said that about the Squabble Up song. You get what I'm saying? Like, he be lying, but he tries to mask it by saying it's like you tell somebody a story and you know that they'll never run into the person that you're talking about, because you could say, or you could make up something like, oh yeah, I was in California, man, and I seen this dude, he was sitting on a tire and the tire blew up and he flew in the air, man, all the way in the air, and he fell into the Golden Gate Bridge, and then I dived in and saved the dude, bro. And you like, damn, you did all that? Like, yeah, man, I pulled the ball out of the water and everything. And the crazy thing is, ain't none seen it. Ain't nobody seen it, Joe. But I'm telling you it happened. And you ain't gonna know. You just have to go off of believing it. That's what he does. He does this all the time. He makes up these stories, these delusions of grandeur, or whatever you want to call it. He makes up these stories that you know you can't go find the person that said it to him. He ain't gonna tell you who he is because it's not no person. You know what I'm saying?
I actually seen things where it said Kendrick's number, nobody in rap's numbers really moved. But this nigga Academics is a liar, bro. This nigga is, no matter the jokes of people thinking who's on what side and being paid off, he is quite literally an agent of OVO. He don't even try to hide that. This would be like getting Trump news from only Fox News. Like you never ever even back check anything they say. It's like, yeah, they're incentivized to lie. He's incentivized to lie. He's incentivized to push whatever is going to hurt Kendrick because it's tough for him out here. I ain't gonna lie to you. It's tough for Act right now and all the nasty niggas right now. You see Adam 22 going bankrupt on No Jumper. You see this niggas, if you pay attention to Act's numbers, he ain't got back on Twitch. I get it. You mad, but like, what, nigga?
Well, I guess I can't. Because we already seen the corrected shit. Okay, let's say this was the inflated numbers. If the inflated numbers was 325, it would be like 50, 60 million. Or maybe like 70. But they're not botting. Like, this is what I've heard about. Like, Kendrick ain't botting like half of his streams. He's botting about what's industry standard, a 10 to 15% fluff. And you do it in a scaled way.
This is so crazy, bro. This is crazy, bro. Like, this is, like, I never seen nothing like this, bro. We're not talking about the actual artistry here no more. We're talking about actual plays of the song. Because you know why we're talking about that? Because most of these people, they go off of credibility. That's it. So if they're saying that it has to be a song played, or how would I say this? Most of these people, not credibility, they go off of I'll figure out the word. I just can't think of it right now. You know what I'm saying? I'm sorry. I mean, I got a lot of thoughts running through my head. You know what I'm saying? Validation. This is what it is. They want Kendrick Lamar to lose validation because his music is good. They have no other argument when it comes to Kendrick. The only argument they have is his songs are great, and he's got all these spins, but it has to be a reason. It has nothing to do with the actual artistry of it. It's because somebody's doing something to cheat for this man. It's the industry standard. Okay, so if it's the industry standard, then why are we talking about it? Because your boy uses it too if it's the industry standard. I don't understand this. What is the argument here? If you're saying that he's bodying and everybody does it and it's the industry standard, then you shouldn't even be pointing him out. That's what I'm saying. So a lot of times with academics, you got to be real careful about the stuff that he says. You got to be real careful.
To make the record look like it's taken off early on, and when more and more people get brainwashed because of that to listen to the record, you scale down the bottom. And
notice how he never comes out and says the stuff about Drake though. What about Hotline Bling? Those were all okay. All right.
Real people pick up the heavy lifting. That's what I've heard. Now, I don't want to center this just around Kendrick because I know Drake fans want to do that. There's a lot of botters in the game. There's a lot of botters in the game.
Let's say if he specifically says Drake.
Yeah. Why you won't say Drake? Why you ain't saying Drake's name? This is what I mean. This is what I mean, man. Like, come on, bro.
The big artists, and again, let me just take it off of Kendrick.
Let me see if he specifically says
the
Drake.
big artists in the game, okay? If they're going to indulge in botting, it's going to be between...
Academics does this thing where he's and it only really works on stupid people, where he feigns non-biasness, but if you can read through the lines, there's nothing non-biased. You know why he specifically was talking about Kendrick and he would specifically pull up a Kendrick song, and then when it gets into the industry and the big people, he's probably not going to mention Drake's name because the point of this was to try to shit on Kendrick. And he's...
Yes, absolutely. What he wants to do, he wants to highlight Kendrick's name with a highlighter. He wants to highlight his name, say, well, yeah, and basically say, well, it's not just Kendrick, but you highlighting Kendrick, which means it's like a force. It's a force deception. It's like, okay, I'm pushing you towards this name so you can see his name, even though I'm not necessarily all talking about him all the way. I'm going to use him as an example. You know how people say, well, let me just use you as an example. your breath stink. And he'd be like, bro, what are you talking about? No, I was just saying, I'm not saying your breath stink. I'm saying like, now everybody in the room looking at you like, damn, my breath stink. That's crazy. Nigga breath stink, bro. It's like, no, I wasn't talking about him. I was just saying, I was using him as an example, but it's not that. You using Kendrick as an example, but you want to highlight that Kendrick Lamar normally don't have this many streams in your eyes. So he must have got bodied. But then say, well, it's industry standard, so everybody else does it too. But Kendrick, like, you know what I'm saying? Because this argument is about Kendrick. You literally have Kendrick Lamar's picture over top of him. I don't know if he did this. Maybe somebody else did this, but I guess he did have Kendrick Lamar over top of him. So I don't know if that's somebody else editing that, but it is what it is.
Not gonna say Drake's name because even though he goes, I know the Drake fans want to make it about Kendrick, so then talk about Drake. What about Drake? Go to his specific numbers. Go tell me how much a specific percentage is being bodied. You're not gonna do that, are you? Because he's trying to feign. Because so when someone calls him out like that, no, I didn't just talk about Kendrick, nigga. You only said him specifically. But I could be wrong, so let's go.
10 to 30%. They're not doing more than that, okay? They're not doing more than that.
Let's see if he brings up Drake.
Now, do I think Spotify should let us know who's doing this? Yes.
Apparently you know, don't you?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, come on, bro. You literally said you had people told you. Yo, this is what I'm talking about, bro. You literally just said that. This is what some people told me. You said Spotify told you that he wasn't body. Now you're sitting here saying that they should come out and say who it was. Like, come on, bro. Cut it out.
Oh,
I don't think Drake. No, I don't think Kendrick. Not Kendrick. I don't think Cardi.
You hear that Freudian slip?
I don't think Cardi bots. It don't make no sense.
Is he going to speak about Drake? Is he going to talk about Drake?
Chat, you really never know.
So he says Cardi, he says Kendrick.
I don't think he bots at all.
What do you say? I don't want to be.
You never know, bro. But I don't think he bots at all. I don't think he bots at all.
Look at the pain
Ironically,
in his eyes.
Supposedly Drake was the.
Hold on.
Supposedly Drake was the #1 streamed artist in the month of March. So if you're wondering, the most streamed artist on Spotify, and I don't know if this is minus the bots, but Drake narrowly beat out Kendrick Lamar. He beat out Cardi.
Yeah, so this is a big feigning of non-biasness. When it comes to Drake and the botting thing, he's gonna tiptoe. I don't know if this is with the botting minusing, but he knows that the squabble up views is after they remove the bots, or he knows that.
And again, he's absolutely right. This is what I'll be talking about with academics. Drake is the most he's the most streamed artist in March of 2025. And they said it was the top artist of 2025. I don't know if this is after they got rid of some of the bots or if they got rid of the bot. Like, all right, I'm gonna let him talk a little more and then I'm gonna tell y'all, I'm gonna give y'all what it really is with botting. I'm gonna tell y'all something.
Kendrick lost a certain amount. Like, bro, I don't want to listen to this nigga anymore because he's just a loser. But let me show y'all something, right? About how monthly listeners work. Just to speak on this part where they said Kendrick went from da-da-da-da. Monthly listeners is a very fickle metric to use about rappers. What it really only covers as someone who drops music is who is dropping music more recently, right? I'll look at it like this. Okay, well, let's look at it like this. All right. Right here, according to Google, it's difficult to pinpoint exact numbers and trends. I Googled Eminem monthly listeners because I knew everybody's fluctuates. Without real-time data, Eminem monthly listeners have fluctuated. That's all I'm pointing this out for, right? Right now, Eminem has 69 million monthly listeners, right? But Eminem had 73, I don't know if y'all can see it. Can y'all see this? Hold on. Eminem had, oh, y'all see it right here. 73 million monthly listeners at one point. So are you claiming that his loss of monthly listeners from 73 million to 69 is botting? Or is it unique to, is this only happens to Kendrick? Really? Or is this something that's just, that's what I'm saying is what Akadiddy and what the Akadiddy page is doing is trying to hope you guys don't really look into it. But monthly listeners fluctuate like, there's one point where I had like, my monthly listeners, I don't know, where they're like 20,000 or something. Then I dropped one freestyle and it shot up to like 50. So it really just means who's listening to you currently, and if you're dropping new music, you should be on top. So Kendrick being on top with album, and even when they're saying Drake is the most streamed in the month of March, you're competing with an album that dropped a year ago. That's still an L. That is a nasty L, because you barely squeaked by. That's not even how those numbers should work regularly. It fluctuates. So, all right, if you don't believe that, let's go to somebody else's. Let's go to Drake's. In recent comparison, Drake's experienced a 13% decrease in monthly listeners on Spotify, while Kendrick saw a 42% increase according to X Hip Hop by the Numbers. A 13% decrease? Does that mean 13% of his numbers are botted? Hold on. Let's look at this. Or 13% of his numbers before the battle were bought, or maybe more. As of March 20th, 2024, Drake had 84 million monthly listeners. He went down to 74. That is 10 million. They're not going to tell you that, though. They're going to just try to use that number to try to discredit Kendrick. And just so y'all know, if y'all want real coverage of how things work, I'll cover it. If Academic says something, come here, because I'll probably debunk the stupidness. Monthly list is not a metric that you look to determine really much more than who is dropping currently. And Drake should have more monthly listeners than Kendrick, because he just dropped an album.
All right. Yeah, I'm glad I listened to him, man. Shout out to Screwface Gene, man. Appreciate him, man. You got to appreciate it. All right, so look, man. This is the thing, right? Here's the thing. You know what I'm saying? And Screwface, if you see this, man, I'm going to put my email in your John. I want to interview you. And also, I want to ask you some questions about something that's important. So if you see this video, yeah. You know what I mean? We're going to get into it. I'm going to give you my number. I want to talk to you on the phone. The King will be talking to you. All right. So look, this is how things work. Doesn't necessarily mean that it works for Spotify, but promotions work the same. Like YouTube, same way. They have these websites, Fiverr, Promoter, a bunch of different websites. Anyone can actually take a link, put it in the website. You know what I'm saying? Pay $5 and then you could get 1,000 viewers, 1,000 subs, 1,000 whatever it is, right? Anyone can do this to any artist. Anyone. Doesn't matter who it is. If I wanted to promote Jack Harlow right now, I can take his video, the link, put it in Promoter or Fiverr, find somebody from overseas or whatever who does these things, and you pay them via PayPal, and they'll make sure you got 1,000 subscribers, right? Now, here's what they do. I'm going to tell y'all. Now, it's a bunch of reasons how you would know that it's actually that way. Because if you go to a channel, and I know I shouldn't be giving this away, but I'm giving it away anyway. If you go to a channel and the channel has 1,000 subscribers and no comments, or 2,000 subscribers and no comments, usually that's people watching it. Now, this is actual people watching this. It's not bots. If you want to call it bots, you can, but it's actual people watch the video and they get incentives. So if they watch a video for 10 seconds of the video, Then they click off of it, they go to the next video. And if they watch 30 videos, they might get a gift card for $5. I don't know how much they get. It might be $20. It might be $100,000. Who knows? But they win these incentives. What the purpose of them doing that, of people who pay for this, is really for celebrities and big time artists who do this. Not these normal local low level artists that are not celebrities, because usually what happens is if the celebrity pays $100,000 to get a song played through Fiverr or whatever, or 10,000, usually if it's Beyonce, people are gonna stay and watching the video. YouTube pays you over time. Yeah. So people usually, they'll subscribe because it's Beyonce. You know what I'm saying? Now, if it's Funeral, me, you know what I'm saying? If I do it, what's gonna happen is people gonna watch a piece of it and get incentivized and turn it off. Not gonna get no subscribers from it, nothing, because I'm not known. So this is the purpose. A lot of artists use Promoter and they use Fiverr. Now, I don't know how that would translate to Spotify, but it could. I don't know. Maybe there's some, I'm sure that there's some people out there who do it. But the point of me saying this is people do this all the time for every artist. Even artists that they like, they want to see them succeed. They'll put $100 on them and they'll get 10,000 more views added on. That's just what they do. You can't stop people from doing that. Now, I'm not saying that that's what happened with Kendrick. I ain't saying that what happened with Drake. I'm just saying you can't blame the artist because it's open for anyone to do it. Anybody can do it to any artist. You know what I'm saying? So I just want to put that out there. And yeah. So you already know. Okay, question of the episode. Who should pay for the first date, or should you go Dutch? Who should pay for the first date, or should you go Dutch? Now, I specifically asked who should pay because some women don't like when you pay. I know some. So, who should pay for the first date, or should you go Dutch? All right, man. Thank y'all. Appreciate y'all for being here with me. I'll see y'all. Peace. Bye.